Welcome to our exploration of the challenges in regulating e-commerce. As online shopping becomes an integral part of our daily lives, governments and organizations face increasing pressure to create effective rules. But why is regulating e-commerce so complex? In this video, we'll break down the key obstacles, from cross-border transactions to rapidly evolving technology. Let's begin by understanding the basics of e-commerce regulation and why it matters for businesses, consumers, and regulators alike. One of the biggest challenges in regulating e-commerce is its global nature. Online businesses can sell products and services across borders with just a few clicks. This means that a company based in one country can easily reach customers in another, often bypassing local laws and regulations. As a result, governments struggle to enforce their rules and protect their citizens. The global reach of e-commerce requires international cooperation, which is often difficult to achieve. Jurisdictional issues arise when e-commerce transactions cross national boundaries. Different countries have different laws regarding consumer protection, privacy, and taxation. This creates confusion for both businesses and consumers. For example, which countries' laws apply if a customer in France buys from a seller in the US? Resolving these conflicts is a major regulatory challenge, often requiring lengthy negotiations and legal battle. Technology in e-commerce evolves at a breakneck pace. New platforms, payment methods, and business models emerge constantly. Regulators often find themselves playing catch-up as laws can quickly become outdated. This rapid change makes it difficult to create regulations that are both effective and flexible. Businesses may exploit regulatory gaps, while consumers may face risks that laws haven't yet addressed. Protecting consumers is a central goal of e-commerce regulation. However, online transactions can expose buyers to fraud, counterfeit goods, and privacy breaches. Regulators must find ways to ensure that consumers are safe when shopping online. This includes setting standards for product quality, return policies, and dispute resolution. Balancing consumer protection with business innovation is a delicate task. E-commerce platforms collect vast amounts of personal data from users. Ensuring the privacy and security of this information is a major regulatory challenge. Different countries have different standards for data protection, making it hard for global businesses to comply. High-profile data breaches have raised public awareness and increased pressure on regulators to act. Creating effective, harmonized data privacy laws remains a work in progress. Taxation is another area where e-commerce creates headaches for regulators. Online sales can make it difficult for governments to track and collect taxes, especially when transactions cross borders. Some businesses may exploit loopholes to avoid paying their fair share. Regulators are working to develop new systems for tracking online sales and ensuring proper tax collection, but the process is complex and ongoing. Protecting intellectual property (IP) is crucial in the digital marketplace. E-commerce platforms can be used to sell counterfeit goods or distribute pirated content. Regulators must work with businesses to identify and remove infringing products, but this is easier said than done. The sheer volume of online listings makes enforcement difficult, and IP laws vary widely from country to country. Commerce has given rise to powerful online marketplaces that can dominate entire sectors. Regulators worry about anti-competitive practices, such as predatory pricing or unfair exclusion of smaller sellers. Ensuring a level playing field is essential for fostering innovation and consumer choice. However, regulating the market power of global giants is a complex and ongoing challenge. Efficient logistics and delivery are vital for e-commerce success. However, regulating these processes can be tricky, especially when goods cross borders. Customs regulations, shipping standards, and last-mile delivery all present challenges. Regulators must ensure that products arrive safely and on time, while also addressing environmental and labor concerns related to logistics. When problems arise in e-commerce transactions, consumers need effective ways to resolve disputes. Traditional legal systems may not be well suited for online issues, especially when parties are in different countries. Regulators are exploring alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, such as online mediation and arbitration, to provide faster and more accessible solutions. Commerce platforms play a central role in the online marketplace. Regulators are increasingly holding these platforms accountable for the products and services sold through them. This includes responsibilities for monitoring listings, removing illegal content, and cooperating with authorities. Balancing platform accountability with innovation and free expression is a delicate regulatory task. Regulatory fragmentation occurs when different regions or countries have their own sets of rules for e-commerce. This can create confusion for businesses operating internationally, as they must navigate a patchwork of regulations. Harmonizing these rules is a major challenge, but it's essential for creating a seamless global e-commerce environment. E-commerce is constantly evolving, with new business models like dropshipping, subscription boxes, and peer-to-peer marketplaces emerging regularly. Regulators must adapt quickly to these changes, ensuring that new models comply with existing laws or creating new regulations as needed. This ongoing evolution keeps regulators on their toes. Digital payment systems are the backbone of e-commerce, but they also present regulatory challenges. Issues like fraud, money laundering, and the use of cryptocurrencies require careful oversight. Regulators must ensure that payment systems are secure and transparent, while also encouraging innovation in the financial technology sector. Educating consumers about their rights and responsibilities is a key part of effective e-commerce regulation. Many online shoppers are unaware of the risks they face or the protections available to them. Regulators and businesses must work together to provide clear information and guidance, empowering consumers to make informed decisions. Cybersecurity is a major concern in the e-commerce world. Hackers and cybercriminals target online platforms to steal data, disrupt services, or commit fraud. Regulators must set standards for cybersecurity and ensure that businesses take appropriate measures to protect their systems and customers. The threat landscape is constantly changing, requiring ongoing vigilance. Growth of e-commerce has environmental consequences, from increased packaging waste to higher carbon emissions from delivery vehicles. Regulators are beginning to address these issues by setting standards for sustainable packaging, encouraging green logistics, and promoting responsible business practices. Balancing convenience with environmental responsibility is an ongoing challenge. Ensuring that everyone has access to e-commerce opportunities is another regulatory concern. This includes addressing the digital divide, making platforms accessible to people with disabilities, and supporting small businesses. Regulators must work to create an inclusive online marketplace that benefits all members of society. Fake reviews and misinformation can undermine trust in e-commerce platforms. Regulators and businesses must develop systems to detect and remove fraudulent content, ensuring that consumers can make informed choices. This is an ongoing battle, as those who create fake reviews often find new ways to evade detection. Product safety is a top priority for regulators. E-commerce platforms must ensure that the goods sold meet safety standards, especially when products come from overseas. Regulators may require testing, certification, and clear labeling to protect consumers from dangerous or defective products. Advertising and marketing in e-commerce are subject to regulation to prevent deceptive practices. Regulators set rules for truth in advertising, endorsements, and promotions. Businesses must ensure that their marketing is honest and transparent, building trust with consumers and avoiding legal trouble. International organizations like the World Trade Organization (WTO) play a role in shaping e-commerce regulations. They facilitate cooperation between countries and help develop global standards. However, reaching consensus among diverse nations is a slow and challenging process. Regulators must strike a balance between encouraging innovation and protecting consumers. Too much regulation can stifle creativity and growth, while too little can leave consumers vulnerable. Finding the right balance is an ongoing challenge that requires input from all stakeholders. Effective enforcement is essential for any regulatory system. Regulators need tools and resources to monitor compliance, investigate violations, and impose penalties. In the online world, enforcement can be especially challenging due to anonymity and the speed of transactions. Transparency and accountability are key principles in e-commerce regulation. Businesses must be open about their practices, and regulators must ensure that rules are applied fairly. This builds trust in the online marketplace and helps prevent abuse. Looking ahead, e-commerce regulation will continue to evolve. New technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain may create both opportunities and challenges. Regulators must stay informed and adapt quickly to keep pace with the changing landscape. Effective regulation requires collaboration between governments, businesses, and consumers. By working together, stakeholders can develop practical solutions that address the unique challenges of e-commerce. Open dialogue and cooperation are essential for building a fair and effective regulatory framework. Examining real-world case studies can help us understand the complexities of e-commerce regulation. From high-profile data breaches to international tax disputes, these examples illustrate the challenges regulators face and the importance of effective oversight. In conclusion, regulating e-commerce is a complex and ever-changing task. From cross-border transactions to data privacy and consumer protection, regulators face a wide range of challenges. By staying informed, collaborating with stakeholders, and adapting to new trends, we can build a safer and more trustworthy online marketplace for everyone.